Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newbold and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.
Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 160 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim Sam I Am Van Stratton. Alongside me is the great, the legendary Rodney Newbold. Rodney, happy Thursday. How are you?
Yeah, man. Sam I Am. That's a good one. I'm doing well. So we've had some cooler temperatures here in the Midwest, but it's going to heat up. After tomorrow, we're going to get back in the 90s and get some of that swamp back going. But mid 70s here. Been fantastic for late July. I've enjoyed that, and but not for long. But doing well, and just one more week left of July. One more week left of July.
I know.
That's crazy.
That it's August. And then you know what comes after August?
Oh my.
Yeah. It's September. It's football. NFL football.
Yeah. 48 days. I say this every week. That means we're in the 30s for college then, because they're a good 10 to 12 days ahead of the NFL. So yeah, football and training camps are underway. This is not a super football heavy show, but it will be soon. It's going to
change.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame game's 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks, is that right? Yeah. I don't know why I thought the Hall of Fame game was like in late July, but maybe, I mean, they got rid of a preseason game, so it makes sense that the Hall of Fame game would be a little bit later.
Well, let me check my work on that one. Let me check my work.
Check your work. I believe you. I'm not throwing doubt into this, but
Thursday, August 6th. So yeah, 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks from today. It's the Panthers. It's the Cardinals. We'll have it live right here. It's on NBC and Peacock.
Hell yeah, bro.
For those
Panthers, Cardinals.
For those of you that are interested in this, the Panthers have opened up as a 1.5 favorite. 35.5 is the total. So good luck.
That's a of all the Hall of Fame games, that's one of them.
Yeah. Panthers -1.5. I'm just chuckling that there's betting lines in the preseason crack me up. Like, what are we doing here?
Do you think that your best bets for betting will get desperate enough to where you will be betting on preseason football?
Yeah. Because I've been really bad with baseball, apparently. WNBA has struggled for me. College will not have started yet. I know nothing about the MLS. So, yeah, I do. I do think so.
Yeah. Well, start studying. You're going to need to know a lot of backups to be able to do that. I cannot bring myself to ever bet on an NFL preseason game. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for me to get into.
Yeah, tough scene. Anyways, but we are 48 days, 7 weeks from yesterday, from the real thing, the real start of the National Football League. Looking forward to it.
All right, Rodney. So you planned today's show like you do every Thursday. Appreciate it. And, I'm going to let you take it away here. But first, we want to give a shout out to our friends at Gateway Sports for all of their support. They've had a not the best week with Cardinals baseball, as you shake your head there. And why don't you tell the people about Gateway Sports here, and then we can get into it with some baseball happenings.
St. Louis City did win, though. They came back from the World Cup break with a win. So, and then Gateway Sports has some soccer fans over there, while you and I may not be MLS fans. They are. Yeah. So congrats to St. Louis City on that big win. But yes, Gateway Sports, if you haven't ever been there, go to gatewaysports.net. It is, if you love sports at every level, there's only one place you need to be. That's Gateway Sports. They cover it all from the preps, college, and the pros. Real coverage, real voices, real passion for the game. From live shows to podcasts, Gateway Sports connects the region like nobody else. Proudly powered by First Form and Recalibrate. Visit gatewaysports.net. Every level, one Gateway. And Tim, I just before I move on, well, again, thanks Gateway Sports, but I'm moving on from that. I ran into an individual today in town, in your former town, my town, that was interested in the Dummy Awards. and thought it was a good idea. So I'm going to give you your pat on the back, your kudos, your attaboys. There was at least one person that I've heard from that was interested in the Dummy Awards.
And I'm glad you brought that up because we do have an update. So on Tuesday, when we announced the winners of the Dummy Awards, which they're all available, the vote is closed, but you can go see them on our Twitter account at Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. There was a 3-way tie for the best Sia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And in case those who need a reminder, the best Sia is for the team whose downfall was the most satisfying. The nominees was the Vegas Golden Knights, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Duke Blue Devils, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. On Tuesday, we had a 3-way tie between the Chiefs, Vegas, and Duke.
Yeah.
But voting is closed. And there is now one team that actually won. So I would like to get your feedback here. Where do we officially declare that one team did in fact win the best Sia? Or do we honor what we announced on Tuesday and say it was a 3-way tie? So a little controversy here.
I think we award the winner after the poll officially came to an end.
So it's the only category that had the leader change. Like it's the only one. I will say though, the Jets almost upset the Rockies for worst team. That ended up being much closer. It was 50 to 44%.
Late comeback by the Jets, something they never see.
Right. A rarity for the New York Jets. But
I think we award it to the winner after the poll is up.
Right.
We were just given preliminaries. You know, a lot of times they'll have a little asterisk, like the final results could change based on final results.
We should have done like too close to call.
Yes.
And then
Yes, had Kornacki in here with his khakis.
Yeah,
got his hands moving all over the place.
I would love to have like a Stupid Sports Show version of a Steve Kornacki, like whether it's one of us doing a character or it's another person entirely who like it's their calling. But all right, I'm going to tell you who the best Sia is. So with 32% of the vote, the team whose downfall was the most satisfying, according to you, the listeners, was the Duke Blue Devils.
Okay.
Duke's downfall was considered the best Sia of the sports season. Chiefs ended up in second, Vegas in third. That's who I voted for. And then the Oklahoma City Thunder were fourth. So Duke, we are going to say officially, is the winner of the best Sia.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. That game still kind of wows me how they lost that one to UConn. And boy, John Shire might look back on that one a while and be like, boy, that was the one that got away from us. But no worries. They still have one of the best recruiting classes coming in. And after this year, Cager Knipple will join the Blue Devils. Yeah. So I don't think they're sulking too long there in Durham.
No. You telling me that Duke has a great recruiting class means nothing. They have one every single year.
Yeah.
That's clearly not enough for them to get past the teams that they need to in the tournament. So no, I don't care about that.
Okay, let's move on to the topics for tonight's show. I wanted to get started with Major League Baseball. Now, there's several things that we could talk about. We're going to start with baseball, move into a few other things tonight. Kind of just a hodgepodge, a who's who of what's going on in sports. We haven't quite set our date when we're going to become full-fledged football, but it's soon.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll know when it's time.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I think so.
You'll know. So. We're all going to get that bug here very soon. I'm starting to already. I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, my baseball team is not very good right now. Yours is at least in the playoff contention, but like we still got 2 months. Anyways, the Boston Red Sox finally lost the game, and I had a bad feeling when Tuesday's game got rained out because I always feel like it's hard to win a doubleheader, and maybe that's just like a myth. But you go into doubleheader against a division rival. They did end up losing the game 5-1 to Baltimore, and I didn't realize with the 5-1 win for Baltimore, Baltimore is actually only 2.5 games behind Boston in the National League East standings for third. That's how bad Boston was before the 15-game. They were really bad. That means they were 49 and 37 before that 15-game winning streak. So my question is, where's Boston? Are they in the middle of this? Are we seeing them? What we're gonna see? I don't know. What's Boston doing?
So it wasn't as extreme, but they kind of did this last year too, where they had a really good second half and they were able to make the playoffs. Like they didn't start last season terribly impressive either.
Yeah,
but right. Then ended up turning things around. So that's kind of their MO a bit. Like they're absolutely in the mix for the playoffs. You know, they have the final spot now. I don't think they're going to have a run quite like what they've had here, but like the teams immediately behind them in the wild card are all under 500.
Yeah.
They're not good baseball teams. Now, that was the Red Sox not too long ago.
Right.
And they turned it around and now they're over 500, but still like Seattle, Minnesota, Baltimore is 8-2 in their last 10 games, the quietest 8-2 that I've ever seen. But they're still under 500. Houston has won 3 in a row, but they're still 4 games under 500. Detroit's just sort of lingering there. Toronto is just like, I keep waiting for Toronto to turn it on, and I'm starting to feel like that's not going to happen. And then like after that, it bottoms out with the A's, the Royals, the Angels. So like the American League is just really bad. So even if the Red Sox at this point play around 500 baseball for the rest of the year, that's probably going to be good enough for a wild card spot.
Right.
Yeah, and especially because one of the teams ahead of them, they have the White Sox and they have the Guardians. One of those teams can definitely drop off. Let's say the White Sox, it finally, the slipper falls off, they come crashing down to earth. And then that's another team that, like the Red Sox, just by being average, are going to pass up.
Right.
So I think that this stretch alone might have been enough for them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, which is crazy. A 15-game winning streak is enough to vault you in there. But it'll be interesting to see. But they lost the game to Baltimore. Let's see what they've got coming up here. I knew Wilson Contreras was having a good season.
Yeah.
Wilson Contreras is batting .293, 22 home runs, 66 RBIs for Boston.
He is my first baseman in one of my fantasy leagues. It's a 12-team league. I got him late. I was like, all right, I'm going to take a flyer on Wilson. So that's how I know that he's been really good. ESPN has him, and I think that he's just going criminally underrated throughout the entire league. ESPN has him as the second-ranked first baseman in fantasy baseball this year.
Wow.
He's still only 53% owned in ESPN leagues. Like half the leagues are like, who cares? Or they just uninspired. And like, okay, like he's got 22 homers. It's not like he's got 35 homers. And I think a lot of people, like with first base, they expect huge power. But like, he's on pace to hit close to 300, over 30 home runs, 90+ RBI. That's an incredible season.
It's a great season. That's a great season
for a guy that I drafted 225th overall.
Yeah, dare I say runner up for MVP?
Oh, all right. What are the odds? What is? I don't even know, because like Aaron Judge being hurt totally changed everything. Bobby Witt is now on the IL for the first time in his career.
Yeah,
and like the Royals have been so bad, it's kind of hard to justify here. So I don't even know like what the current odds are for.
Yeah,
MVP.
I'm not sure either. I'm mostly just kind of basing it off what I see off number. I mean, Yordan Alvarez, and we're going to get to him next, is the American League MVP, right? That we'll talk about his numbers here in a minute. But
like, and yeah, I think that just by default, because his numbers are great, but the Astros are what, third place team?
Yeah. I mean, but is anybody going to beat Yordan Alvarez out?
I doubt it.
No,
I doubt it. So yeah, I'm trying to pull up. See, being in Hawaii, like I keep trying to look at sports books, but it's just showing me prediction markets.
Here we go. Yordan Alvarez is minus 330.
Yeah.
Junior Caminero is plus 500. Ben Rice is 15-1.
Yeah.
Okay, I am way off here because Wilson Contreras
not even close. For what I'm looking at, he's not even close.
Tied for 10th with
Yeah.
Miguel Vargas, Cody Bellinger,
Yeah.
Cam Schlittler, Mike Trout.
The worst team in the league.
I mean,
There's some, honestly, Rodney, like, I think you'd be crazy not to throw a flyer on it. What happens hypothetically? Yordan Alvarez gets hurt.
yeah,
Astros miss the playoffs.
yeah.
Wilson Contreras continues. He ends up hitting 35-plus homers, close to 300, 100 RBI. The Red Sox end up in the playoffs.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you got Nick Kurtz.
I mean, the problem is, like Junior Caminero and Ben Rice have better numbers.
Yeah.
So, but, like, at that value, you'd be insane not to.
Yeah. Might need to throw some money on them tomorrow. Anyways, that's Red Sox finally lost. The other baseball topic I wanted to get to, Yordan Alvarez, Triple Crown or nah for Yordan. Let's go over his numbers real quick.
Yeah,
Yordan's hitting 328. He leads the American League by a lot. The next best, Yandy Diaz, 308. Those are the only two American League hitters hitting above 300. Yordan Alvarez has 34 home runs. Your boy, Uncle Ben, has 30. Junior Caminero, 29. Those are the only three I'm going to discuss right now because Buxton and Montgomery are almost 10 behind. We can get to them if they can make a run. And then RBIs, Yordan has 77. Uncle Ben with 71. Nick Kurtz, Wilson Contreras, and Pete Alonso with 66.
And Dylan Dingler. You left out Dylan Dingler, who's also at 66. So shame on you.
Yeah, he wasn't listed in the top 5 because they only showed 5. But my question would be, Yordan Alvarez, is he going to win the Triple Crown or nah?
I do. I think at this point, yes. The one that I'm most worried about. So I think he's going to lead in homers. I think he's going to end up leading in ribbies. The one that I worry about is average because I know what looks like a 20-point gap, but let's say he starts to, like the power stays steady, but maybe the contact drops a little bit and Yandy Diaz goes on a tear. Because like Yandy Diaz, I feel like even though he hits like over 300, he's kind of streaky. And like I could see this ending up where like Yandy Diaz gets up to like 315 and Yordan's like 313.
Yeah.
Like so that's the one that I'm most concerned about. But as of now, I would say yes, he is your MVP winner. He's also, by the way, leading the league in runs and on base percentage and slugging.
Yeah.
And in total hits.
Yeah. Yeah, he's dominating.
But is that so? Do you think it's an automatic 100% he's the MVP? Let's say he does win the Triple Crown. But let's say the Astros win 78 games and miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is that like automatic? Yes. Like I mean, like Mike Trout won MVPs when the Angels were bad.
Yeah, I think
Shohei Ohtani won MVPs when the Angels were bad. Like I just use those two as an example. But like Yordan is not just doing this for a team that is on track to miss the playoffs, but he's just DH. Like he's not playing the field. Like he has no value. It's like David Ortiz, and David Ortiz had some incredible numbers, but David Ortiz wasn't winning MVPs because of that.
I think if he wins a Triple Crown, though, yes.
You think just automatic?
I mean, if you win a Triple Crown,
remember we were talking about this last year. Was it last year or 2 years ago with Marcell Ozuna? And like Marcell Ozuna for like at one point was like in the Triple Crown conversation. Yeah, we're like, boy, the voters are praying that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't. But yeah, no, I do think if he wins a Triple Crown, he's the MVP. All right, let's move on.
I would tend to agree. I would tend to agree with you.
Let's move on from baseball. I got other topics I want to get to. The big one here locally in the state of Illinois and in the Chi-Town region. Showtime. Patrick Kane is back in Chicago. And I know you have some thoughts on Patrick Kane. Overall, your thoughts on this signing of a Blackhawks legend. 2-year deal.
Yeah.
2-year deal, $16 million.
So I think you buried the lead there. So first of all, gross. That's just number one. But number two, this is what's great to me. And honestly, Patrick Kane earned a little bit of respect from me today. Patrick Kane could have easily been like, hey, look, I'm 37. I'm going to finish my career where it all began. I'm just going to go team-friendly deal, get to team up with Connor Bedard, get to just like ride it out in Chicago, like my beloved city, whatever. He could have done that. But instead, Patrick Kane's like, you know what? This team is going to be so dog shit. I am not going to come here unless they pay me $8 million a year.
Yeah.
Like in hockey terms, Rodney, like $8 million is a lot. Like $8 million is like what like the 23-year-olds that are getting extended league wide are like making per year. That's not what you pay a 37-year-old on a 2-year contract. And here's some good math for you. You ready for this? So between Connor Bedard's new extension, which is $15 million a year, Bowen Byram, his extension, which is going to be $12.5 a year, and now Patrick Kane, that's a combined $35.5 million that the Blackhawks are going to be paying 3 guys in one season. $35.5 million for 3 guys. Keep in mind that this team is not close to a Stanley Cup. They've been the 31st ranked team in hockey for 4 straight years.
Yeah.
For perspective, the current Stanley Cup champions, the Carolina Hurricanes, are paying Sebastian Aho, Nikolai Ehlers, Andrei Svechnikov, and Seth Jarvis, remember their top 4 players,
Yeah.
a combined $33 million this year. Tell me who you'd rather have.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going to be better.
Are the Blackhawks just like, you know what? We suck.
You know what? And honestly, like, I think that's part of the equation as well. Like, they're looking and saying, all right, this rebuild isn't going as well as we're hoping. It's taking longer. Bedard's now going to be missing the first, month, 6 weeks of the season. We're going to need to generate some type of offense, like anything, like get people excited. Oh, Patrick Kane's going to do it. Oh, well, the Buffalo Sabres, who just won the division, are interested in Patrick Kane. That's where he's from, by the way. So, like, all right, we're going to have to just bid so massively that he has no choice but to come back. He wasn't going to come back. Like, that hasn't been in the conversation until they offered him $8 million a year. I can tell you this, Buffalo Sabres weren't offering him $8 million a year.
No.
So, like, this is purely just hey, let's get the fans excited. Let's Kyle Davidson buying some goodwill back after, the Bowen Byram trade, I think, shocked everyone. And just kind of hoping that there's some magic. Like, the guy can still play. It's hilarious that at 37 years old, he's the best winger that Connor Bedard's played with. Mm-hmm. And as he's going into his 4th season. So that just sort of shows you like where they're at as a franchise right now. But I saw the amount of money and I laughed. I couldn't believe it. And like, yeah, they're going to be paying three guys $35.5 million a year. So that's an average of about $12 million a year. For like, if you split them up between the 3 of those, like one guy obviously is in his prime, another defenseman is good, not great, and the other guy is
37.
He's old. He's old. Yeah. He's 37. He's 37. He doesn't play a lick of defense, which is the one thing that the Blackhawks don't do at all. So, it's purely just like, hey, let's buy some goodwill and let's get fans excited, because I think that people are starting to lose a little bit of patience in what we're building.
Yeah, and they're going to be able, if you didn't buy a Patrick Kane jersey the first time around, or maybe you sold it to eBay, or maybe you even burn it, now you got an opportunity to get another Patrick Kane jersey in Chicago. Showtime is back in Chicago. I this came out. I mean, you mentioned it. Like, it came out of nowhere, right? Like,
what, the Kane signing?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there were a couple rumblings like the last couple of days. I'm not quite sure, but I mean, I certainly didn't expect it. Just like, and it really seemed like the Blackhawks were trying to sort of distance themselves from the core, just with all the controversy and everything. Like, yeah. I think that they were just like, all right, let's just move on. Like Jonathan Toews, he came back, but he didn't come back with Chicago. He came back to Winnipeg. Yeah. So, like, it's just, I thought it was just the end of an era and you just move on. But I think it's just a desperate team that's trying to generate any sort of interest. Yeah.
So that leads me to this one, and I've seen this several places, but FanDuel Sportsbook, the one that really sent me over the edge here. Here's what they said after Patrick Kane signing. Mm-hmm. The Chicago sports scene right now: Blackhawks brought back Patrick Kane. White Sox and Cubs both in playoff position. Caleb Wilson getting KG comparisons. Caleb Williams as the Madden cover athlete. The Fire signed Robert Lewandowski. What a time in the Windy City. So my question is it prime Chicago sports season, or are we overhyping the Windy City and their sports once again? Would not be the first time we've overhyped Chicago sports. Your thoughts on Chicago sports and their dominance right now?
They're doing a very good job of dominating the acquisition game, but the execution is not quite there yet. Like, it's better than it was in the 2010s, like the late 2010s, like the Bulls were going through it. Blackhawks were, about to hit the rebuild. The Bears were sort of, they're like, yeah, I would probably say overhyped because, all right, let's go team by team here. So the Bears have, with all their hype, they have one playoff win, right?
Yeah.
The Bulls have had in the last few years no playoff wins, like not even appearances. They just go to the play-in and lose. The White Sox obviously are rebuilding now, but just now starting to come out of it. The Blackhawks have been the second worst team in hockey for 4 straight years. The Cubs are, I mean, they've pretty much peaked at wild card round, or divisional round, I should say, divisional round.
Right.
That's despite, the PCA, him coming up, being an all-star. That's the Kyle Tucker trade. That's Alex Bregman signing. Like, they sort of just are what they are. Like, none of those teams have elevated to championship level. I know you mentioned, the Fire and the Sky and all that, but like, no one is actually really seriously a threat to win a championship there. Like, who's the closest? Who of the Chicago teams would you say right now is the closest to actually winning a championship? Is it the Bears?
Yeah, I think it's got to be the Bears. But that's my question. Like, are the Bears are they going to have all the luck that they had last year? Like, are they going to be able to win final possessions as many times as they did last year?
Like, history says no. And Caleb Williams, for all of the highlights, and I think Caleb Williams is like the perfect embodiment of Chicago sports right now, where you sort of see on the outside, it's like the big name, like the big plays, like there's oozes with talent, oozes with marketability, but then you scratch below the surface and you're like, oh, there's actually a lot of things that are sort of off about this. Like, I mentioned it a lot last year. Caleb Williams was dead last in completion percentage among NFL quarterbacks.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of really poor quarterbacks in the NFL, and they were completing passes at a higher rate than Caleb was. And we saw time and time and time again, like the Bears in the first half were the worst offense in football.
Right.
And it wasn't until later on in the game where suddenly things start to click. Now, that's just not sustainable. And it doesn't feel like we should expect just the same thing to happen this year. So, yeah, I would say the Bears by default, but even still, I'm not super high on them because there's going to be regression to the mean, and the schedule is one of the 5 most difficult schedules in the NFL this year compared to last year. Last year they had an easy schedule.
So this is another overhyped Chicago sports.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you think here? Do you agree? Do you have other thoughts?
I don't. I continue to think it's overhyped.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree right now until one team really threatens to win a championship, because right now none of them have been close.
It'll be interesting to see, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny how that popped up as soon as Patrick Kane was signed.
Yeah, like you obviously LA right now with the Dodgers, with the Rams, the Lakers, like LA right now would take above Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Would you take? I mean, Philadelphia. You have the Eagles, who are a year removed from winning a Super Bowl. To go with the Sixers, the Phillies, like I would take Philadelphia over Chicago. Yeah. Boston. You just had the Patriots in the Super Bowl. You have the Celtics, who are consistently very good, plus the Red Sox and the Bruins. Like, I would take Boston. You know, New York has been down on its luck here, but you know, the last 2 years the Yankees were in a World Series and the Knicks just won the NBA Finals.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So all of the big cities are already.
Yeah, I mean, keep going now. I mean, Miami. I mean, good. The Panthers won back-to-back cups. The Heat have been in the finals. They just got Giannis. I would take Miami over Chicago sports. Like Chicago's probably outside the top 5 at least of you know, the big markets in terms of like their overall short and long-term outlook as a sports city right now.
Yeah, but you can't tell their fans that.
No, and that's fine. Like, they're great fans and they're insanely loyal, and they should be. And all of those teams at one point or another had absolute great runs and championship success, and they're all great franchises. But like PCA and Caleb Williams and a 37-year-old Patrick Kane aren't making you a better sports city right now than LA or Boston.
Right. Like, it's
just not happening.
Great. All right, they're going to move on from Chicago, and we're going to move. And I know this really isn't your isn't your cup of tea.
Why do you always have to introduce that? Whenever we talk about women's sports of any kind, you always have to throw out there that I'm not a fan. Listen, I support women's athletics. Okay, you don't have to do this whole intro every single time. Right. I'm very, very excited to talk about whatever topic this is about.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's how into you are. So in the WNBA, if you get 8 technicals, you're suspended. Caitlin Clark picked up her 7th last night in the face of the NBA. But what I wanted to get to is how damn soft is the WNBA. Her technical came because she told her opponent scoreboard, and the official didn't like it. How soft is that? Did you imagine if an NBA player got a technical for saying scoreboard? Like, you know, some of the things those dudes are saying and getting away with it. Scoreboard. Yeah. So Caitlin Clark said scoreboard and got a technical, her 7th.
I have long been a proponent of everything that NBA players are allowed to get away with in terms of how they act, what they say to their coaches, to their fellow teammates, to the opposing players, to refs. Like, WNBA players should be allowed all the same freedoms. And like, it makes your sport seem really soft and just like an unserious league if a player says scoreboard and that's a technical. Like, you're right, there's so much worse and every other male dominated sport. It makes no sense. I thought you were going to talk about like WNBA All-Star Weekend, like Sophie Cunningham, who's 2nd in the league in 3-point percentage, who's not in the 3-point contest because for whatever reason they don't want one of the most popular players in the league to be on one of the biggest stages for the sport. Well, because she said things about like, you know, women athletes.
She's been all over the media this week with the comments, and really didn't say anything too bad other than she doesn't believe transgender should be playing men's or women's sports. And then they went on to basically try to accuse her of being MAGA. And she's like, no. She's like, I actually am very in the middle of all of it and don't just simply agree with everything. Basically, she's been all over in the political world. And you're right. That's another reason for the WNBA being soft.
Yeah. Like it's one of your most popular players for one reason or another. Yeah. Like, that's the stuff that you have to highlight during this. And it's not like you're just, it's because she's popular because she says things. Let's do that. Like, no, for like a 3-point contest, she's 2nd in the league in threes. That's a perfect place to do it. And like, it just the way that league operates is confusing. Yeah. It's very confusing because like, I think it's pretty obvious that there's a clear level of interest in it from both like men and women, and a lot of big name players, like college basketball stars that then go on to the WNBA, continue their rise of stardom. Like Caitlin Clark is still as popular as ever now that she's been a pro for a few years, and like the league just can't get out of its own way. Yeah. And they're the single thing that's holding them back from growing.
So we need a new commissioner.
Yeah, like at least right? I don't know who the WNBA commissioner is, but like he or she's doing a bad job.
Yeah. Her name is Kathy Engelbert, by the way.
Okay, I've heard that. That sounds familiar. I think Aaron in our group chats probably mentioned it. He texted me last night that like he was getting back from the Fever game. It was like 1:30 a.m. his time. He just texted me back. He's like, "That's crazy. I'm getting back from the game now as it's bedtime in Hawaii." I was like, "Okay, cool,
Okay,
cool, man."
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Let's move on to the next topic. You asked me on Tuesday if I thought LeBron would have been signed by the time our show starts on Thursday. I said no. I was correct. LeBron still has not been signed anywhere, and I'm not sure anything's really changed between Tuesday at this time and now. You have any intel, any thoughts on LeBron's in the last 48 hours?
No, well, I would say the one thing that has changed is, over the last day or two, sort of the prevalent theory has been, well, the wait is because he wants to see how these teams are going to sort of shape their roster the way that he wants. Primarily, who can get Anthony Davis? Who can get Kyrie Irving?
Yeah.
Because after all this, like he still wants to play with Anthony Davis, still wants to play with Kyrie Irving. I don't know why he has such a hard-on for playing with Kyrie Irving. Like they did it for a couple of years, and then Kyrie got all jealous and then demanded a trade and went to their rival in Boston.
Yeah.
I don't understand, but it's not not my problem. But today, I'm like Rich Paul. I think it was Rich Paul. I think it was either Rich Paul who said it directly or like told it to Shams, who then told that. Basically, it was like that's not a consideration. LeBron is purely looking at where he's going to have the most enjoyment, most happiness. Like basically, like he's not factoring this in. I think it's bullshit. Like personally, I don't see why you need until July 23rd to decide where you want to go just to play ball and just to be yourself. Like, I think we know a little bit about LeBron James after 23 seasons in the NBA. I think we know that there is a part of him that's like, what if we could form this type of team here? What if we could, like, otherwise, like, why even consider the Warriors? Like, the whole thing is like to play with people to give you the one, not just like your own happiness, but like one last chance to win a ring. So it's like, can Cleveland, who, by the way, and the reason that I feel like this is the case is because Cleveland still hasn't re-signed James Harden.
Correct.
So I think that this could be leading up to like them telling Cleveland, hey, why don't you consider Anthony Davis? You send, let's call it Jared Allen goes to Washington. Anthony Davis comes here. James Harden gets flipped to Dallas, or let's just say Dallas, right? Kyrie Irving comes in. Then you got Kyrie, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got LeBron, you got AD, you got Evan Mobley. These are all the pieces that could be working here. And I think that's probably what he's wanting to do. But like if all this fails and Cleveland isn't able to get this roster built, or Philly isn't able, or like Golden State isn't able to, then like Miami's sitting there with a couple open roster spots. He could easily just go to the Heat and he could be like, hey, just get whatever two veterans I want on minimum salary deals.
Yeah, and play with Giannis and Bam.
Yeah. As like the backup option.
Yeah. This brings me to this question because I feel like, and I know this has been the case, but I feel like LeBron has been kind of the general manager for a lot of these teams. When LeBron retires, if he was ever to be a general manager, would he be any good at it?
Well, who is it that he demanded when he was on the Heat that he demanded them draft? Who was that? Oh, the name's escaping me right now. It was a UConn kid, right? Shabazz Napier.
Yeah.
Shabazz Napier. That was a big thing. It was like he needed the Heat to draft Shabazz Napier. And then with the Lakers, like the Russell Westbrook trade obviously stands out. And I think he knows talent, but Michael Jordan famously was like the worst executive of all time.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, let's just call it like it is, people. Michael Jordan had years running a basketball operations and building out a roster, and he was terrible at it.
Terrible. Yeah.
So, like, your greatness and your ability to identify talent doesn't necessarily translate to, like, actually being a good GM.
Yeah, just like being a head coach.
No, like, to me, LeBron would be perfect in, like the ownership role where he's just sort of the face of the ownership group.
Yeah.
But like he's not the one that's making the basketball decisions.
Correct.
And honestly, I don't want that because like I don't want the whole thing to continue after he's done playing of like, let's compare his executive career versus Michael Jordan's executive career. Because like what happens? Yeah. What happens somehow? Because like I'm like Team LeBron forever till I die. But, like, what happens if LeBron does become a GM and he's somehow worse than Michael Jordan? Like, how am I going to live with myself if that happens?
Yeah.
Like,
that'd be difficult, though.
It is. Like Michael Jordan drafted Adam Morrison 3rd overall.
Yeah. That was bad.
Like those Bobcats teams that you don't remember, that's because Michael Jordan was the one in charge of their rosters.
Yeah, bad.
Like, yeah, he was awful. Awful. So, yeah, I'm hoping that LeBron doesn't go that route, but I don't know. It kind of feels like he likes being in that role, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. All right, I'm going to move to a different subject here. We'll get to more LeBron next week when he signs or doesn't sign.
Over under August 1st. Over under August 1st.
So that's still 8 days away.
9 days away, yeah, something like that.
I'm going over.
So you think it's in August? If it is still August, then it's definitely because he's waiting for Anthony Davis to not sign his extension and then get traded to wherever he wants to go. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. All right. My next topic is real quick. I wanted to see Lane Kiffin on social media. Lane Kiffin decided that he wanted to delete all of his social media. It started with a challenge from his son, Knox, who asked him or challenged him to kind of less social media. And Lane decided, I'm going to do all of it. I'm going to delete all of it. He deleted all of his social media. He says it's been freeing to stay away from social media. This is a guy that spent a lot of time trolling on social media.
Yeah.
So 2 things. Number 1, the obvious question is, how long will this last? When will Lane Kiffin get back on social media? And 2, I don't really know what number 2 is here. I kind of lost my train of thought. But, like, are you really buying that? Like,
that's a good list. That's a really good points.
Are you buying that it was like his son's urging, or do you think LSU was like, "Hey, buddy, you probably ought to back off a little bit"?
I could honestly see it both ways.
Yeah.
Like I could. Like I don't get why any head coach of a college program is on social media. Like I don't know. Be an adult. Like especially Lane Kiffin. Like I guess okay, if you're on social media, fine, but just to share like the normal PR bullshit stuff. But like the way Lane Kiffin does it, like, dude, be an adult. Like if I'm a parent and I have an 18-year-old son who's looking at schools, and I'm seeing, all of these winning programs, and then I see Lane Kiffin doing whatever on Twitter. I'm like, come on, dude, be a grown up. Especially because like Lane Kiffin's reputation already is a little unorthodox, if you will. So that's fine. He can stay off.
He did at SEC Media Day say he regretted the way he left Ole Miss. You think?
No. Whoa. No. Are you saying abandoning the kids that he was coaching and that he recruited in the middle of the season, right before the playoff, was bad?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll tell you this Lane Kiffin is really starting to come around on me.
Yeah. SEC Media Day has been interesting because Pete Golding, the new head coach at Ole Miss, said something about Lane Kiffin was like an X, and then somebody came back and said, was Lane Kiffin needs to come back and say, and yes, I have full custody of your children or of your kids, like basically taking the student. Anyways, SEC Media Day is going on, and Lane Kiffin is off social media. So There's that. All right, let's get to our best bets for betting. Got about 15 minutes left. This will take a few, and we got to remember somebody and do some final thoughts before we get off here. Best bets for betting has not gone real well. Just a reminder, I am not good, and you are better right now at it. You're 103 and 102, one game over 500. That would still be a losing better if you were actually putting real American dollars on it. I would basically have no money left. I cheated this week, and I went ahead because I won't lose 2.3 units or 2.7 units.
So weak.
Well, listen, Friday, baseball. That's all there is. So what do? I'm taking the 5 teams that I think are going to win in baseball on Friday. So the first one is going to be the Milwaukee Brewers. I feel like I put the Brewers in every best bets for betting for the last long time. I have no idea who's pitching for either team because I'd never heard of the Sugano kid for Colorado, but he's won 9 games for them. And then Shane Drohan. Yeah. Colorado's got a pitcher with a 9-4 record and almost a 5 ERA. Yeah. How about that?
He's got 51 strikeouts in 90 innings.
Yeah, but he's won 9 games, dude. I know wins.
Did you call him a kid at all? Did you say that, or did I just imagine it?
I mean, he's
36 years old.
Yeah. Tomoyaki.
Yeah. He was with Baltimore last year. This is his first year in the big leagues, so he was late bloomer, I guess. Came to Baltimore. Had 30 starts, had a 4.6 ERA, and then immediately ditched now with Colorado and is having pretty much the exact same year just in Colorado.
Yeah. But he's going against the Brewers. Brewers are at home. I like the Brewers tomorrow in an easy win on that one. Game 2 is the Tigers over the Royals. Well, the Royals haven't been very good, and Tarek Skubal's on the mound. How many more starts does he have with Detroit? We'll see. Maybe
it might be his last one because
August 3rd's the deadline this year.
It's that late?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes, it's August 3rd.
Ugh. All right, he'll get one more. He'll get one more then.
Because August 3rd is a Monday, so they're doing it on a Monday. August 3rd is the deadline. Yeah, I think Scuba will get this one and one more. But I think he wins this one over Kansas City, and the Tigers pick up another much-needed win. I'll move to the National League for my next one. It's Pirates. It's Cubs. Cubs lost yesterday. Pirates split that doubleheader with your Yankees. It is Matthew Boyd, against Jared Jones. Jared Jones, 2-1, 40 innings pitched, but struck out 48. I'm going to take Jones and the Pirates to win that one over the Cubs. We're going to go back to the American League. It's the Tampa Bay Rays, and it's the Cleveland Guardians. Shane McClanahan is at home against Cleveland. I'm going to take him and the Rays. And then the nightcap out west, I'm going to take Logan Webb and the San Francisco Giants to beat the surging 41-62 Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles. Grayson Rodriguez going for the Angels. He's 3-3 on the season. I'm going to take the Giants, Logan Webb. So Brewers, Tigers, Pirates, Rays, and Giants for my betting.
What a group of just world beaters that you have there.
Well
done.
5-0 time.
Yep. All right, my picks. So we're going to start, and I'm going to go against my team here. So the Phillies tomorrow night, they're at home. They got Jesus Luzardo on the mound. Not only do they have the pitching advantage here, but the Yankees have a very lefty-heavy lineup. So going up against a good lefty like Luzardo's, you're already going to be trouble. And just the Yankees lineup, they are really struggling to generate any sort of offense consistently. So I'm going to take the Phillies as a money line favorite at home there. I'm going to go against you on this Cubs-Pirates game. I don't know. The Cubs, just all that talk about Chicago sports, and I'm just like, this team's too generational to lose.
Rejuvenized.
I'm going to take Boyd and the Cubs to beat the Pirates as a road underdog. Next, we got the Miami Marlins hosting the San Diego Padres. Now, Rodney, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Marlins, they had a good June. They had a good half of July. Since then, they've lost 9 in a row.
Wow.
But you know what that means?
They're due.
They're due. No one lets the Marlins lose 10 games in a row. So I'm going to take the Marlins. Their starters TBD, which is never a good sign, but I'm going to think they bounce back. They had the day off today. They get to sort of recoup, say, hey, listen, we're better than this. We're the Miami freaking Marlins, guys. And they're going to beat the Padres. Blue Jays facing the Red Sox in Boston. Red Sox, they finally experienced defeats, and they're going to experience defeat again. Trey is Savage, so nasty. He's on the mound for Toronto. I'm going to take the Blue Jays as a road favorite there. And then last but not least, the Nationals hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks playing good baseball, but I don't know. Just this is one of those games that I'm just going purely off vibes. And the Nationals still have a really good lineup, and I think they're going to be able to win this series opener, especially because Arizona had to play today. Mm-hmm. Were they in St. Louis or were they in Arizona?
In St. Louis, yeah.
So they were in St. Louis, and they got to go to D.C. tomorrow. It's just their schedule's all messed up. The Nationals are going to be refreshed, and they're going to be ready to go, and they're going to get the win. So unlike you, the coward who took two moneyline favorites who were 230 and 270, I went three underdogs. Call it confidence. Call me crazy. But we're going to have a good best bets for betting weekend, folks. I feel it.
Well, I'm 8 games back. Let's see what happens after this weekend. Hopefully gain a little ground and start heading into football. And that's where I surge and take over when the pigskin gets started.
Taking the Texans over the Jets.
Oops. All right. Let's remember someone, shall we? Every show we come up with a former professional athlete that maybe we overlook or something. But here we go. Tonight I'm going to remember Tim. Do you remember Anquan Bolden?
Absolutely. I saw that, man. I was like, Rodney picked a great name. It's better than Chris Sabo, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I know. I felt like I was getting 80s and 90s baseball for you.
Yeah, know your audience here. But no, yeah. Anquan Bolden is an excellent pick.
Yeah, Anquan Bolden, 45 years old. He played from 2003 all the way to 2017. That's a long NFL career. That's a hefty NFL career. Super Bowl champion, Offensive Rookie of the Year, 3-time Pro Bowl. Best known for his time in Baltimore?
No, I would say Arizona.
His first 6 years.
Arizona, for sure.
Arizona. Yeah. I mean, I obviously remember his time in Baltimore as well, but he won the Super Bowl with Baltimore.
Well, he was in the Super Bowl with Arizona.
Yeah.
But I think it was his last year in Baltimore, the 2012 season. Yeah, is when he won it in Baltimore. So so he does have a Super Bowl championship, and a runner-up in another year. So he's been in a couple Super Bowls.
Yeah, went to college. Do you know this? Do you know where he went to college? Without, you've probably seen it. You've probably been looking. But did you know where he went to college?
I didn't know it was Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State, 99 and 2002. Finished his career with over 1,000 receptions, nearly 14,000 yards, and 82 receiving touchdowns. He was a second-round pick in the 2003 draft. Let's go ahead and do that now. First pick of the 2003 NFL draft was?
Oh, good. So 2003 would have been, I think, Carson Palmer.
Oh, yeah, it was Carson Palmer.
Right, give me the team. Give me the teams for 2003. So Carson Palmer to the Bengals, number 1. Who's the second overall? Who's the team?
Detroit Lions picked second.
Oh, that would have been Charles Johnson, maybe?
Charles Rogers.
Or Charles Rogers, that's what I meant. Charles Rogers. Yeah, Charles Rogers. Yeah.
Because the third pick went to the Houston Texans.
Okay, so Carr was the year before that, obviously. So Texans, third overall. Oh.
Well, you were on the right page with your second pick. You were on the right track with Johnson.
Oh, this was Andre Johnson here.
Andre Johnson, yes. Yes.
What a time, man. Two receivers going in the top 3. I missed this.
Jets went 4th with the defensive tackle.
Oh, that is going to be I was going to say DeBrickashaw Ferguson, but that was an offensive tackle.
Dwayne Robertson. The Cowboys went with a cornerback out of Kansas State by the name of Terrence Newman.
Oh, Terrence Newman. I was going to say Roy Williams, but yeah, Terrence Newman. Yeah.
Jonathan Sullivan, a defensive tackle, went to the Saints. And
nothing.
then the 7th overall pick was a quarterback by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It wasn't Byron Leftwich, was it?
It was Byron Leftwich.
Wow. Okay.
There was only 2 other quarterbacks selected in the first round, and it was 19th overall by the Ravens.
That would have been Kyle Bowler?
That's correct. And then the 22nd overall by the Chicago Bears.
Oh, boy. Was it Rex?
It was Rex Grossman. Yeah.
That's a loaded quarterback class.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looking at some of the other names on this, Troy Polamalu was 16th overall to the Steelers. Terrell Suggs was 10th overall to the Ravens. Willis McGahee went to Buffalo. Dallas Clark went to the Colts. Larry Johnson went to the Chiefs. So that was the
I just pulled it up now. Nnamdi Asomugha, you remember him? He was an all-pro corner. Second to last pick of the first round by the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah. So Anquan Bolden. So Anquan Bolden's best season arguably would have probably been in 2005 when he finished with 102 receptions, 1,400 yards. Although his rookie year was really good.
His rookie year was incredible. Well, it's funny. His whole career in Arizona, he was alongside Larry Fitzgerald, except for 2003. Yeah. Because Larry Fitzgerald was taken 2004, third overall by the Cardinals. So in the one time where Anquan Bolden was the top guy, he had almost 1,400 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And was offensive rookie of the year and a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I find it interesting that even after
Larry Fitzgerald, honestly, I not even looking at stats, just going off purely like his career, just his abilities, I would put Larry Fitzgerald in the top 10 wide receivers of all time.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I think he was that good. And the fact that Anquan Bolden was still able to rifle off as many like 1,000+ yard seasons he did alongside Larry Fitzgerald was quite impressive and shows how good he was too.
Yeah, and I like that Anquan Bolden looked like he was fairly healthy all of his career. Now, his second year, he only played 10 games, but he had several seasons of 16, including 3 of his last 4 seasons. He went over to San Francisco after being in the NFL for 10 years and put up back-to-back 1,000 yards receiving. He played 16 games in back-to-back seasons, then went 14, and then went to Detroit and played in 16. So Anquan Bolden was a guy that you could count on to be on the field. 202 games in the NFL. He started all but 4 of them. He also played in 15 postseason games. He made the postseason every stop he went. Arizona, Baltimore, San Francisco, Detroit, all made the playoffs.
And Rodney, how about this one more note on Anquan Bolden here? I'm just going to tell you his game log from the Ravens Super Bowl run. So this was his first year his last year in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So first game against the Colts, 5 catches, 145 yards, and a touchdown.
Pretty good.
Next game at the Denver Broncos, he gets 6 catches for 71 yards on 11 targets. The AFC Championship at New England, 5 catches, 60 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then the Super Bowl against San Francisco, 6 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown.
Pretty good.
That's a pretty good postseason for Anquan Bolden. Like that's earning your ring right there.
And I think that's probably why I started it with remembering the most with Baltimore. So you remember that run. But yes, his overall body of work was better in Arizona, but made quite an impact in Baltimore, helping them win that Super Bowl.
Not in the Hall of Fame.
No.
Probably won't be in the Hall of Fame, but certainly Hall of Fame level talent. And it's just one of those like unfortunate things that he's not going to end up getting there just because he's overshadowed by Larry Fitzgerald during his prime.
Yeah. Was really good at Florida State as well. 2002 season, he had 9 receptions, 175 yards against Notre Dame. He had 3 touchdowns against North Carolina. So is a very good college player as well. and even in high school was named to the Florida High School Association All-Century team. That's pretty good if you're on an All-Century team. So Anquan Bolden is our Do You Remember? Let's remember somebody for Thursday, July 23rd.
Great pick. Well done.
Before we get out of here, I want to make a quick announcement. No show on Tuesday. I'm heading to St. Louis for Cardinal Cub, taking my teenager to St. Louis a couple nights. Going to see Monday and Tuesday's game. So no show on Tuesday, but we'll be back a week from tonight, our final July show of the year. And after the show the other day, I went on AI Overview and looked up when the BetS book should be here. And they said I might only be getting a PDF file.
Oh, no. No.
I know. I need to flip it. I need to write it. I know.
I feel ill.
So, yeah.
I feel ill.
I'm like middle of the ground when it comes to like technology, writing, typing, but like for this, I need my book. I need to write in it. I need to flip the pages.
You know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to go to like Walgreens or CVS and get one of those NFL preview magazines that has every team, like the team previews in there and every team's schedule. And you just got to do it that way. Yeah.
I actually, there's a CVS right down the road. They'll have them.
Yeah. Oh,
that's funny because that's funny because my dad, I share the story real quick. My dad, who's 74 years old.
God bless him.
Yeah. So my mom was going to the store for something and dad wanted to get like one of the football magazines. And I've told him for years, I'm like, Dad, all that stuff's online, but he still wants to have the hard copy. So he's like, hey, I told my wife, pick up a football magazine for the season. And she called him from, I assume like Kroger or Walmart. And she's like, hey, Tom, there's like 8 of them here. Which one? Yeah, that's just so like Athlon and Street and whatever all these places are now. But I don't know. That brings me to the question: which one should I pick up when I go? Because you're right. If I don't get the BetS book, I'm thinking like August 1st. If I don't get this book, I need to have a plan B.
It's going to be a magazine. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm struggling. There's like Athlon. There's Lindsay.
Lindy's. Yeah.
Or Lindy. Yep. There's quite a few. Know what I love? I love when I travel to a different city and I see their cover and it's like the regional athletes, like whatever. Like in the summer, I would go to like New York, New Jersey area, and it would be like Giants and Jets on the cover of the football preview magazine. But like in Illinois, you're seeing like Caleb Williams on it. So I love just seeing like the different regional covers of these magazines.
Yeah, I'm not really going out of state except for to St. Louis, and they're probably going to they'll have Patrick
Battlehawks, yeah.
they'll have Battlehawks. J.C. Horn or somebody will be on the cover of theirs.
Yeah, there you go.
So I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see Caleb Williams. Maybe I'll just take the cover off. But anyways, I'm thinking August 1st. If I don't get one, I got to go down to CVS. And those things are going to be like $10 now, though.
Yeah, I would say between $8 and $12.
Yeah. I'll snap you a pic when I get there. Maybe if you
for information, like they will have no transactions past like May 15th. Anything that happened in the NFL after May 15th is not going to be in that magazine. Just a warning.
They published it in May.
Yeah, like no, for real. It's like after the draft, it's like, all right, send it out. Like we got enough, but like there's still all these free agents that are sitting out there and injuries that could be happening. But
yeah,
too bad.
Anyways, all right. So no show on Tuesday. We'll be back next Thursday. I can go through some of this tonight. Follow us on Twitter, not X. Did you know it's been 3 years since it's converted?
You told me that today. So that's exciting.
But we don't really care because it's still Twitter. It'll always be Twitter. But follow us there. Stupid Sports Show, no W on the end. My Substack's still winning. I'm up a lot of units for the year. Just a couple for July, despite my Substack being absolutely atrocious. And that should about do it. If you want to be a guest or sponsor the show, get a hold of us, and we got that opportunity. So that's it. Tim, you can take it away from here.
Thanks for putting the show together. This was a fun one. It was fun remembering Anquan Bolden. It was fun getting into the WNBA with you. I'm one of the foremost voices of all things women's athletics. So thank you for finally bringing that into the show. But yeah, we'll be back on Thursday, a week from today. Maybe to talk about LeBron. Probably not. Definitely baseball. Definitely some other stuff. Might sprinkle in some football. But we'll be here with you. Thanks to everyone who tuned in, by the way. Had a fun time tonight. He is Rodney Newpel. I'm Tim Semi-Ann Van Stratton. This has been another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpel and Tim Van Stratton.